Hi, welcome to the first Spirit Sunday of 2022, and today I'm talking about all things scary and all things new. Because new is pretty scary for me right now. There are times when new has been really exciting and I've been giddy and I couldn't sleep and I jumped out of bed because I was getting ready to do this thing and I felt confident that I could do it. And there was something driving me that was bigger than me. Then this time, I'm almost certain that for most of us, the past 2 years have been filled with uncertainty and chaos and anxiety and pain and loss and confusion and insecurity, and there's those rare few who just were like coasting through like nothing was happening. Not bitter about that. But I thought that I would start off this year talking about how to embrace the new and not dismiss the fear. So, today I am in my home. I don't feel ready or set up in any way, except that I have a new camera, a new microphone, and a glorious light because today is very cloudy. Actually, I'm very grateful for that. I've been hustling on this YouTube thing and Instagram thing, more Instagram, less YouTube, with the natural light from the window and my iPhone. So let me just talk to you about what mini crisis I had last night thinking about today's recording with this new setup. Let's just start small. Let's just start with something not so major, right? What was major for me? I had a little meltdown. I bought this camera with the vision of being where I am today a couple of months ago. I could see the day where I was sitting and I was recording more professionally. You know, this is like a notch higher than I was doing before. And for me, it's so much easier to live in that headspace. It's safer there. So then it's D-Day and I actually have to open up this thing, this camera, and I have to open up the box and I have to figure out how to set up, and I'm like panicking. I literally feel myself freezing, and I cried, and my husband's like, what is happening? And if I didn't know enough about myself to understand what I was working through in that moment, it would have been easy to dismiss it as, oh, you're just being emotional. Here's the thing about emotions. They're there to tell you something. So every time an emotion rises and you dismiss it without questioning it, you're missing out on a vital piece of information. So last night, my emotions were telling me that I was afraid. And I dug deeper into that. My husband helped me. What are you afraid of? What is causing you anxiety right now? Why do you feel stuck? What is the internal dialogue or monologue? Because at that time it's like this narrative has taken over and you're just being carried by this train of thought. And many times you're not even aware that you're being carried. You're just going on this roller coaster of emotions and kind of losing. It's like you've lost you're not the one driving anymore, you know? So I realized, and I am excited to talk about this, at some point in the year, I'm actually thinking of creating a course on this. I realized that I was face to face, I was having this battle in that moment with my mask. My mask, my protection, my armor, my defense mechanism. It's what gives me confidence to face the world, you know. Think about a woman putting on her face before she leaves, you know, she has a little bit of an extra bounce in her step when her face is made up, right? And think about, conversely, how vulnerable it feels to walk into the world for a lot of women without I wonder if you can hear my baby and her dad playing downstairs. How vulnerable it feels to walk, kind of show the world, this is my face, and these are the zits on my face, and these are my eyebrows. They are not plucked and shaped perfectly. Case in point right now. But think of that as you're imagining kind of the wrestling I was going through. So here I was unboxing. It's supposed to be this new and exciting thing, and it used to be, and it was at some point, but right now I'm feeling like I can't sit in front of this wonderful setup looking and feeling the way that I do, because my mask is make everything look good, make everything look like perfect. And you know, my mask is winning and succeeding and just nailing it, you know. So anything that feels unprepared or unrehearsed or raw and vulnerable, my mask is like like I'm not going there, you know. My mask wants to be presented always perfect, and I wasn't feeling perfect. In fact, everything that I want to talk about this year, the way that I want to show up this year, is going to be really vulnerable and uncomfortable, because there is the mask and there's the real person. I've been living behind this mask for so long that it's been my identity. However, the real person behind the mask, that's really who I am, you know. I didn't come into the world like, da-da! I like to think that I did. Like, oh, you know, spotlight, lights, camera, you know. No, you come into the world grimy and messy and yucky and like, oh, people are like, oh, your baby is so cute, you know. That's how we come in. My challenge and my biggest transformation has been sort of showing the unscripted parts of me to the people around me. First of all, my relationships, and then, you know, as my relationship world is growing, to the world, so that the real person sits equally, you know, with my protective layer, my armor, you know. And those two people are living in harmony because they're both parts of me, you know. So that was the wrestling that was happening. It's like she was saying, you don't belong here. You know, my mask was saying, you're not ready for this gig. However, my real authentic self was saying, that's exactly how I need to show up. I need to come, like, this is not a show, you know. This show that I'm calling Spirit Sunday is like it's actually a perfect representation of both sides of me, because it's a show in that it has some sort of structure. It's like a stage that you walk on and you have to deliver something. However, the content that I'm delivering, that's what's real. It's because it's not scripted and it's not rehearsed, you see. So ideally, when we talk about wholeness, it's coming into a place where you're comfortable with your whole identity. Zuri is like belting Baba Black Sheep right now. I love it. And that's like case in point. If this was a show, my mask would have been like mad, because it's like I'm trying to do something here and you're getting in the way of the production, you know? And there's a time and a space for that. It's like when you go see a show and you're paying, you don't want the people to be like, oops, sorry, excuse me, gotta run, I forgot to, who, you know? That's not the time for that, right? So, all this to say, this new way of showing up is just like a segue into you thinking about this new year and how you want to show up, and what are the things that might be new or are new that are scary for you. And I want us together to not be intimidated by our own emotion. You know? Like, the thing is intimidating, sure, but sometimes the fact that we're feeling afraid, that's the thing we can conquer. That's what we have power over. Because every day, to be honest, will be a new set of challenges. Every day will be, we don't know what the future holds. And that in itself is scary. We have no control over that. However, we do have control over our own internal mechanism. So, what to do when you feel afraid? Feel it. Ha! Mind blown. You'll be surprised how much we dismiss our own emotions, or minimize them, or numb them, cut them off, distract ourselves from feeling it. Just pay attention the next time you're feeling something. Just kind of have, if you could have like an out of body experience, and watch yourself relating to that emotion. What are you doing? Are you actually just feeling sad and crying, or feeling angry and like expressing and like you're connected to it? Are you feeling the fear, or are you resisting it or pushing it away? Now, it might sound like that battle, like I was telling you, like, why would I want to do that? Why would I want to feel anything other than joy? Because like I said, all our emotions, first of all, are ours. They belong to us. You know, there's the whole spectrum of emotions is ours. And so, number two, after I have accepted my own feelings and embraced my own feelings, I can, number two, gain insight, an added perspective that I can use to face the challenge. You know, so feel it and then get curious about it. That's it. Let's go. Have ourselves a powerful year.
Kairetu.